It started innocently enough, or at least I thought so. I pulled up to my garage on a quiet Tuesday morning, ready to head out for errands, only to find two massive trucks parked inside. Not my trucks, not anything I recognized. And, of course, the culprit was Karen. Choe Karen. She had apparently decided that my garage was the perfect spot for her son's vehicles while she visited the neighborhood. No permission, no heads up, just two trucks, blocking my way like a monument to entitlement. I sighed. This wasn't the first time she tried to push boundaries, but it was certainly one of the more audacious moves. I stepped out, shaking my head, and knocked on her door. Predictably, she denied everything, then huffed that I shouldn't be so unreasonable and that her son's needs come first. That's when I smiled and decided to remind her that I had a few surprises of my own. You see, that garage wasn't just any garage. I leased it, officially and legally, to the county sheriff's department as a temporary vehicle holding and storage facility. That meant any unauthorized use was immediately a law enforcement issue. I called the sheriff's office, casually mentioning the incident at my garage, and within minutes, a couple of marked units rolled up. Karen, who had been glaring from her porch, froze the moment she saw the lights. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. The realization had hit her. The trucks blocking my garage weren't just trespassing. They were now illegally obstructing a government-leased property. The deputies didn't waste time. They politely but firmly asked Karen and her son to move the vehicles. When she hesitated, still clinging to her sense of HOA authority, one of the deputies leaned in. "Ma'am, you do realize this property is leased to the county, right? These vehicles need to be moved immediately or they'll be towed, and you may face charges." Karen sputtered, red-faced, waving her arms as if trying to cast some magical HOA protection spell. But the law doesn't care about HOA status, and it certainly doesn't bend to entitlement. By the time the deputies finished, her son had scrambled to start the trucks, and they were driven off under official supervision. I walked into my garage, finally able to breathe. Everything was as it should be. My vehicles in place, my garage intact, and a very chastened HOA president staring from across the street. I could almost hear her seething. She had tried to assert control, but she didn't know whose property she was really messing with. Later, when I recounted the story to neighbors, they couldn't stop laughing. "Karen really thought she could park there?" one of them said. "Didn't she see the sheriff's stickers?" It was a small victory, but a satisfying one. The garage stayed mine, the sheriff's lease remained untouched, and Karen learned, again, that HOA rules have limits, especially when they collide with actual law and authority. And the best part? Every time I drive past her house now, I wave at her son's parked trucks in the driveway, a silent reminder that property rights and legal protection trump entitlement every single time.